Once upon a time, in a serene valley flanked by towering mountains and lush green forests, there was a community of monks dedicated to the pursuit of enlightenment. These 100 monks were known throughout the region for their wisdom and discipline. They were embarking on a pilgrimage to a spiritual conference where they hoped to share insights and learn from one another. As they journeyed through the woods, they chanted mantras and exchanged stories of their spiritual journeys, each step resonating with purpose and camaraderie. However, their journey took an unexpected turn when they came upon a raging river. The water roared angrily, churning violently against the rocks, rendering it impossible to cross. The monks, who had trained themselves to embrace challenges with patience and understanding, gathered around while their leader, an elderly monk with a long, flowing beard, stepped forward. He was revered not just for his age, but for the depth of his wisdom. "I will teach you patience," he proclaimed, as he sat down calmly on a large rock beside the riverbank. He closed his eyes, engulfed in meditation. Sensing the gravity of the situation, the other monks, trusting in their leader's guidance, did the same. They too closed their eyes and began to find tranquility within themselves. Time slipped away as they waited for the waters to recede, quietly learning the art of stillness. The first hour passed in serene silence. The second hour, untouched by words or restlessness, floated by. However, as the initial calm wore off, some of the younger monks began to twitch and fidget, their patience waning. A third hour descended upon them. Whispers of anxiety and impatience crept through the circle. One monk, filled with frustration, finally opened his eyes and exclaimed, "Master, how can we wait here when there are teachings awaiting us? The river shows no signs of calming down." The leader, still in a meditative state, did not respond. Instead, the older monks remained quiet, their own eyes gently closed, witnessing the struggle of impatience spread among their younger companions. Eventually, another monk followed suit, breaking the silence with a sigh. "What good is this meditation if we do not move forward? We could be learning and growing instead of sitting idly." He stood, glaring across the water towards the other side. Upon hearing this, the elder monk finally opened his eyes and gazed upon his young counterparts. "There is much to learn in this moment of stillness," he said, his voice steady and calm. "Patience is a teacher, not merely an act of inaction." What followed was a cacophony of voices expressing dissatisfaction, their hearts racing with the desire for progress. Some monks stood up and began pacing. A few sat with their arms crossed defiantly, ignoring the leader's continued calmness. In the midst of the rising discontent, a thoughtful monk, who had sat quietly through much of the commotion, finally spoke. "Master, can you not show us how to cross this river instead of merely waiting?" he asked, an edge of frustration breaking his usually gentle tone. Addressing the young monk directly, the elder leader smiled. "Do you not see? The river is but a reflection of life itself. In all that we undertake, we are often confronted by obstacles that require more than just force to overcome. Sometimes, we must learn to be patient, and in patience, we find strength." Still feeling restless, one of the younger monks could hold back no longer. "Patience is valuable, but is it not foolish to waste time when there are other paths to enlightenment?" He paused, seeking validation from the others. "Perhaps we should seek another way to cross?" The elder monk could see that the impatience was bubbling to the surface. "Change your perspective," he urged. "Do you feel that waiting is wasted time? What can you learn from this moment? We can let the rush of thoughts drown us, or we can let the stillness bring clarity." As they continued to sit, a silence washed over them like a gentle wave, one that reminded them of the lessons they often learned in practice. A few monks shifted their perspectives, allowing themselves to breathe in the nature surrounding them. The rustling leaves, the tall trees, the chirping birds. They began to see not the river as a barrier, but rather as a vital teacher, an opportunity to enhance their understanding of patience. As time rolled on, the river, too, began to ebb. Gradually, the fierce current softened, and the water level lowered. The monks realized that although the wait was long, it did not diminish the beauty of the moment. As the sun began to dip lower in the sky, illuminating the world in hues of gold and amber, the river transformed into a calm, inviting flow. "Now we can cross," the elder monk declared. He rose gracefully and nodded toward the river, the reflection of the setting sun glistening off the water. The younger monks, having learned the strength of patience, felt a sense of achievement. They joined their leader at the water's edge, having undergone a swift and profound transformation in their mindset. With a sense of reverence, they constructed a makeshift crossing using fallen branches and stones, a simple testament about how unity can achieve what appears impossible. They worked together, leveraging their combined strengths while recognizing the value of patience they honed while waiting. As the last monk crossed the river with a heartfelt smile, they rejoiced together on the opposite bank, realizing that their struggle had not been in vain. It had equipped them with invaluable lessons. As they continued on their pilgrimage with newfound wisdom, the elder monk spoke. We are often taught to be relentless in the pursuit of our goals, but we must also learn the grace of waiting. In waiting, we find clarity. In clarity, we find progress. The journey of life, they realized, was as much about the pauses as it was about the action. In their experience by the river, they discovered that enlightenment lies not just in the end goal or in obtaining knowledge, but in the moments of struggle, the lessons in patience, and the profound realization that sometimes, stillness can carry greater strength than haste. As their pilgrimage continued, the monks carried the lesson of the river with them, sharing it with others, spreading the wisdom that each moment offers the potential for growth and understanding. No longer did they rush through their experiences. Instead, they embraced every challenge with the knowing that patience is not an absence of action, but a conscious choice toward deeper understanding and connection with the world around them. In conclusion, I hope this story serves as a reminder that the journey of self-improvement is often a winding path rather than a straight line. Life presents us with moments of stillness, patience, and the roar of challenges, each offering its own set of lessons. In recognizing the value of waiting, we learn to cultivate inner peace and clarity that ultimately transforms how we face the obstacles in our lives. Embrace the quiet moments, and remember that every experience has its place in the tapestry of enlightenment.